There y'all is. What's happening, world? It's your boy, the Toothless Wonder. Back with another video, reporting live from the Bamboozled Again News Network. You understand me? Just random thought again popped my head. How they redefine the word or the definition of crazy, right? I think I said in the last video, from my perspective, we're living in as far as those living in America, I don't know how it is everywhere else, but for those living in America, we're actually, engrossed in this culture, masquerading as free society, but in reality, application, you're actually living inside of a sane asylum where it don't not make no sense. I think the root word of well, if you believe this spiritually to be mystery Babylon, I think Babel actually means to confuse or confusing. Everybody confused in the moment, you know what I'm saying? But these confused folk will call you crazy because you choose to think for yourself. These folk will call you crazy or slap some label on you when you have standards and boundaries. These folk will call you crazy when you veer off from the herd that you see is getting, led off a cliff. You see what I'm saying? Let me tell everybody else crazy. And here's why. Now, of course, life experience is probably the best teacher. But all the stuff, all the pitfalls I see other people fall into, and these various life situations that, bring themselves to individuals, and how they manage that, let me tell it, these folk crazy. I need to be their coach. Not in no egotistical or self-grandizing way. I do actually enjoy helping. I don't take any joy in watching the suffering of others, even if they wronged me in the past or we had an issue. You know what I'm saying? I still don't want to see that happen. I don't get off on that. You know what I'm saying? But it's it's just crazy how crazy it is. You know what I mean? How it's crazy how they'll put a label on someone who can actually knows how to treat and heal their own body. Someone who has the ability to counsel themselves while in wisdom seeking wise counsel when necessary and need be. They call you crazy because you don't need therapy for 10 years. And I may have said this in another video, right? If I'm a so-say therapist, and I understand how that's kind of constructed, I feel like if I'm a bad therapist, if you got to keep seeing me and paying me to talk to you for 5 years, yo. Now, granted, everybody got their due diligence to do on their own. But if a car mechanic, if you got to keep taking your car to the car mechanic because he can't fix your car, is he still a good mechanic? You see what I'm saying? The craziness of how you go to the doctor with, let's say, diabetes, but you never, alleviate the situation of your diabetes. Like I remember one time I was in one of these Emmy Jimmy rehabs, right? And we had to get mandated to go, and then they was talking about they had to take my blood, but I never signed up. So I'm like, yo, y'all not taking my blood, yo. Then I seen a sign underneath the desk that said if we refuse services, they'll still bill our insurance. So I said, how about, well, it said right here, how about I'm not gonna get y'all no blood, 'cause I don't know what y'all gonna do with it. You know what I'm saying? And y'all just bill my service like the sign say right here. They look at me like I was crazy. You know what I'm saying? What you need my blood for? And then trying to like coerce me into giving my essence. What you gonna do with it? Can't answer. You know what I'm saying? They'll call you crazy if you don't get the jab babula and call you crazy because you asked what's in it. Here's what's crazy, right? Now, when it comes to abortion, they'll say my body, my choice. But the same people use the argument to abort children so they can continue in the behavior that led to them having to abort the child in the first place didn't say my body, my choice when the federal government gave the employer mandate. You ain't say my body, my choice. Then that's crazy. They call you crazy when you just one way. They'll call you crazy when you're just genuine and everybody know what you're hitting for. Like that's why with wisdom, I try to operate in a certain amount of transparency. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't, I've had my various struggles and because I don't have no ego, no image to maintain. So when people over a period of time that see that you are who you say you are and who you portray yourself to be, they get scared and they think you crazy. Because I don't have no ulterior motive and agenda that you got to sift through. Which it don't make me none, because I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, I'm like the socially observative type of individual. Being the way that I grew up during my formative years, I kind of lived in the country, very kind of isolated. My neighbors were related to me and lived on the same plot of land, different houses. And then if it wasn't school, church, or sport related, I wasn't a part of it. So I was very green to society as a whole, in the essence of how people or the games people play with each other. Like when I started going to school in town, it blew my mind. Now I can just tell. I see these social groupings, but I can tell main man is just cutting into these folk for whatever benefit he can get of them. But he don't care about the people in there. You see what I'm saying? And then when, for whatever my skill set is or whatever. And then they'll say I'm crazy because I don't want to be in the in crowd. Nah, it don't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the same time, I tend to more establish personal rapport with people. So typically, you won't see me grouped up, but I have established a lot of personal rapport with people on different levels. You know what I'm saying? I'm more the interpersonal individual rather than the group up herd. You know what I mean? And then nowadays, like I kind of, for the most part, I'm kind of leery of people that always see constantly in groups of people. Can you stand on your own? Do you have your own thoughts? Like, I get it. And at one point, I was a social butterfly, but that's because I was drinking. But all this here, every time you turn around, you taking pictures with this person and that person and this person and that person, you got to be playing chameleon. Because all the real people I know ain't just dealing with any old body because they know how crazy it is out here. So you must be just like them. So I'll make sure I stay my distance from you, or I just know how to kind of, as my dad used to say, deal with people with a long handle spoon. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm antisocial. It's more that I'm anti-conformist. What am I conforming for, and how does this benefit me? Well, we won't mess with you. Well, how about I not conform and you just mess with me anyway, and then I'll figure out a way for you not to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like certain stuff don't make sense to me. Like when I hear people getting in these various situations and they're getting extorted. Like getting extorted don't make no sense to my brain. So essentially, I'm gonna do something I don't want to do for you not to do something. How about I not do it and you just do what you're gonna do anyway and see what a chip for? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And let's say it's something like super, I don't know, egregious, which I don't do, but boy, they got me. Man, you might as well come on, because I'm not paying you or doing something so you don't do something. Just go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? Oh man, that man crazy, yo. Because I'm not letting you dupe me or have some semblance of power over me. I'm crazy. It's like every time I hop on these videos, I just have to keep talking about how inverted this place is, yo. I guess the word is correct. Well, it's all correct from what I'm from what I'm saying now. We're good is bad, bad is good. You know what I'm saying? We're calling evil good and good evil. It's like being in a it's like being in a planet from the outside, being implanted in a real life syndicated episode of the Twilight Zone. Do 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 do. You know what I'm saying? I can go on and on to the break of dawn, and as long as my skills pay the bills, I'll never stop. Like even in the quote unquote dating world, it's almost this epic level of delusion, right? Where you hear these various, I guess, dating podcasts or whatever. Then you have all these kind of, harlots, right? For lack of a better term, you know what I'm saying? You have all these demands, but the last 22 dudes that hit it didn't meet none of the demands. You see what I'm saying? Here's what's crazy, right? If you have nothing to offer but hard meat and bubble gum, you can get it for free. But if you got something personally going on with yourself, they trying to see how much game they can run to extract that out of you. I'm crazy because I don't want food with none of this stuff. When I see everybody else who fool with it getting demolished, having their essence stripped of them, having mental health issues. You see what I'm saying? And then act like they hurting me because they don't want to fool with me. It's a two-way street. Of what benefit, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, conversationally, would I have fooling with you when I see how you operate? Granted, at the same time, ain't nobody out here perfect. And I make mistakes. I just own up to it. But I try not to. I try to walk as upright as possible while shouldering this great burden of purpose on my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? My phone getting hot. But I'll just make this a quick one. It's crazy how crazy it is, man. And on that note, I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Ooh, ah.